ICT and national guidance. It's my honor.
UGANDA Telecom Corporation Limited ezaliddwa company y'Abannayuganda, Ministry of Finance ne Ministry of ICT be bannannyini company eyo, nga Ministry of Finance erina 60% shares, Ministry of ICT 40% shares. So kye tugezaako okukola kuzzaamu bannayuganda maanyi nti naffe nga bannayuganda tulina telecom provider agenda obbafaako, but most importantly okutegeera nti beetaaga services ate nga tugenda zissa wansi tusobole okubawa kye baagala. Tugenda okussaako essira emiwendo okubeera nti mu Uganda bakiyita batya? Reliability of the service. Reliability, what is that in Uganda? Reliability and secure. Oyagala nti omuntu waba ali ku services za Uganda Telecom Corporation, teri muntu yenna agenda kuyingira mu data we kumutaataaganya. Kye tugenda okussaako essira nga bannayuganda. Ate ekisingira ddala economy tugiraba nti bannayuganda beetaaga service gye basobola okwaffordinga because of the economy. That is why government esazeewo leero okugamba nti okay, katuleete ekyaffe bannayuganda kubanga tubategeera the public ate naffe tuli bannayuganda. Amanya nze Magi Muchibi Lutwama, Chief Operating Officer.
Back to my professors to let them know that what I told them has happened. So, when I mobilized these private sector people, they came back to me and gave me a brilliant idea. They said, Anita, first we have to go and stop liquidation. So we had to run to court. I thank my senior minister, Matiaka Saija, because it needed his signature. And I went to him and he gave him the papers and he signed. Please clap for Matia. And every time I went to him with the document, he signed. So when I went to Matia and I said, let's stop liquidation, this is the advice from private citizens, he signed. And we filed for liquidation against Cameo Technology. Cameo only owed UTL only 100 million. Can you imagine wanting to send all of you home because of 100 million? So we had to file against that. And the court granted us. So they told me, what the next thing you have to do is get people, private company, to go and do a study of UTL. Then we agreed and hired private water coopers, Price Water Coopers. Do you remember Price Water Coopers here? Yes. Price Water Cooper came and they did analysis. The report they came back to me was that, Anita, this thing is dead. Let the thing go. I'm like, are you sure? Said, what are the other options? We sat in a meeting in my office. We would do meetings until 10 in the night. And they told me, Anita, this thing has to die. We've studied. It is really completely dead. The only thing it has is assets. I'm like, read the law, open the book. They opened the book. I told them, in that book that you're holding, in that law of administration, the liquidation, so insolvency law, don't you have a clause in there that can actually help us? They told me, yes, we have one clause here. This clause is to put UTL under administration. But I want to tell you, Anita, UTL, there is no company in the whole of East Africa that has gone to administration and survived. So administration is like, it is put in ICU, intensive care. So, but this intensive, actually, there should be a word above intensive care. So they put UTL in intensive care, and then we see if it can recoup. So I said, they said, but you see, all legal practitioners in the whole of East Africa have never tested this. We've never taken a company into ICU. But okay, if you want, I said, who told you that because you've never done, we cannot do it? Let's go and do it. For when Jesus says yes, nobody can say what? No. So, when they agreed that we should put it in administration, I had several lawyers, government lawyers and private sector lawyers, whom I had to get clearance from the president. And the government lawyers had this argument with the private sector lawyers, and the argument was so nasty. Government lawyers said, actually, we shouldn't test this ICU. The private sector lawyers, without giving names, said, no, let's go to ICU. And then we went to the ICU called administration. So since I didn't know anyone, I said, so you private sector people, can you propose names of people who can actually be the one to take us through this ICU? So they made proposals. And do you remember Biemanya? So they brought to me that administrator called Biemanya. They brought him to me. And I told him, I've heard about you somewhere. What I've heard is not good, but because these private people have told me that you are actually good, let me give you the chance. So I said, fine, let's give Biemanya the chance. We gave him the chance. We stayed with him in administration. But I knew that they told me we will only be in ICU for 6 months. So 6 months is coming, nothing is happening. What am I hearing? People are fired in UTL, so-and-so has been fired, so-and-so. I said, hey, when I see you, I thought status quo. So what is this? So there is no way you can be in ICU and get married, can you? So they're saying, let's get an investor to come in, do this. Long story short, I don't like the dark end, but I'm only testifying because the Bible tells us that when you testify about the goodness of the Lord, for you will be stronger, right? So that's why I'm giving you the testimony. I don't actually like to open that dark end. But fast forward, I want to tell you, when we failed with Biemanya, I went back to the president. I said, Your Excellency, my judgment has failed. I think this time, I want you to make your choice. So 2022, 2020, I was now having my holidays in Dubai. I get a call from my, of course, with my lovely husband, you know. So as I was having my holidays, the president calls me, okay, now I've gotten for you a new administrator. I said, who? He says, I've gotten for you Ruth Sebatindira. I told the president I am happy to work with Ruth because she's a woman. And no offense, men. I love men, but particularly I love the one who is my husband. So just no. No offense. We women, when we put our head and our eyes on something, we will get it. So when he told me Ruth, I was very excited. And I want to therefore ask all of us to clap for Ruth.